Now the next concept is array of objects. You know the purpose of array. Arrays are used to store same type of data in a continuous memory locations, isn't it? Let us consider an example. If you want to insert 10 integers, you may declare 10 different variables like int a, b, c, d, like that, 10 different variables. If you declare 10 different variables, what happens? There would be a random memory allocation in the RAM. A, B, C, D, like that. So it is very difficult to handle these memory allocations because it's very difficult to extract the data and it is difficult to search and sort, and the code will be very complex. Instead of having 10 different variables, you can go for array of integers. You want to store 10 integers or 5 integers. In this example, I have taken 5 integers. You can take int a of 5 so that there is a continuous memory allocation and every element is uniquely identified by its position. Okay. When you come to real time or when you come to user defined data type, if you want to store 10 employee details, isn't it? Employee detail. For employee details, there is no basic data type. User has to create their own data type. Here I have created data type. Let us consider one object. Okay, leave array of objects. Let us take only one object. For each object, these two properties are common, employee ID and employee name. To input values, I have defined a function, input function, enter employee ID and employee name. And cin statement, it extract the value from the keyboard. And to display contents, I have taken void display. Here function is there, no? Employee ID, the content of EID will be displayed here. So, I want to store details of two employees here. That's why I have declared two variables. E1 and E2 are the variables of which type? Employee type. EMP is not an inbuilt data type. It is created by us. Just now we have created here. We have defined a class, means we have created our own data type. So whenever you create a variable, whenever you declare variable, in this example, E1 and E2 are the variables of employee type. That's why we call it as objects. We won't call it as a variables, we'll call it as object. Whenever we create object, memory gets allocated for members E1 and E2. Every object has the properties employee ID, employee name. Here E2 also having employee ID and employee name. Okay, the size of each object depends on sum of sizes of their properties. Employee ID, which type? Integer type. Employee name, character array. One character requires 1 byte, 20 characters, 20 bytes, or not 20 characters, 20 memory locations have been allocated. So 20 bytes, total 22 bytes. Every object occupies 22 bytes memory in the RAM. Okay. Now, I want to input values for E1. E1 represents one employee, E2 represents another employee. Now we shall give values for these two data members. To input values, we have taken a function called input. The purpose of this function is to get value from the keyboard. To which object we want to input, that object has to call input function. Here, very first I want to input values for E1 object. That's why E1 dot input. ಇದು ಒಂಥರ ಮಷಿನ್ ಇದ್ದಂಗೆ. ಮಷಿನ್ ಕೆಲಸ ಏನು, ನಾವು ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಏನು ಇನ್ಪುಟ್ ಕೊಡ್ತೀವಿ ಅದು ಕೆಲಸ ಅದೇನಿದೆ ಅದೇ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಇನ್ಪುಟ್ ನಾವು ಹೆಂಗೆ ಕೊಡ್ತೀವೋ ಅದ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ ಆಪರೇಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಹಾಗೆ input function meant for get value from the keyboard. Who will call that function? For that object it gives value. E1 dot input. Next I want to input values for E2. That's why I call the same function with the help of object E2 and dot operator. Now we want to display. I have given a heading here, AID within double quotes. So whatever you have written within double quotes, it display as it is. EID heading \T tabular space and E name, then / and cursor comes to next line. Now heading over. First I want to display the values of E1. What is there in E1? Let us consider E1 some value. Okay, it will be displayed on the screen. Further we shall see the output. Now after that E2, the value of E2 will be displayed. Let us see the output here. I'll write output here. Okay, output. See, always execution starts from main function. See, E1 dot input. whenever in this statement, whenever it calls this function, control executes this instruction here. What is there? Enter ID, EID and ENAME. It will display on the screen. Enter EID and ENAME. Let us consider employee ID 111. Sorry, 111. And employee name. I'll take employee name XYZ. Again, next E2.input. The same function will be executed. Okay. Now the values goes to E2 object. E2 object hi hogutte. Again, the same statement will display. Enter EID and ENAME. Now I'll take 112 PQR. After that, EID backslash T ENAME is there. No, EID backslash T means cursor tabular space. It gives a tabular space here. And ENAME. After that, E1.disp. So it calls a display function. Who is calling display function? E1 object. So the purpose of display function is display the contents of object. Which object is calling, its value will be displayed. Now E1 object is calling display function. E1 object is calling display function. So EID of E1. What is the value of E1? EID is 111. No, I have given 111 and XYZ. E2 1. What's that? 112 and PQR. Now we display these values. In which format? In which format we have written the statement in cout statement? It will be displayed like that. EID. Whose EID? E1 EID, because E1 is calling display function. What is there? 111. Under EID, 111 will be displayed. After that, backslash T is there. After that, backslash T is there here. Now it gives tabular space here and XYZ. Again, next function call is there, no, E2.display. The same function will be executed. Now this time it display the values of E2, 112 and PQR. 112 PQR. Like this it will be executed. See what you need to observe here. We have taken two objects. Here I have taken two objects now, so it would be easy to declare different variables. If you want to insert or if you want to store 100 employee details or 1000 employee details, you need to declare different variables here, 1000 different variables, and the code will be very complex. Instead of taking separate variables, we can go for array of objects. Okay, how to declare array of objects? Like this. EMP is a data type, E is identifier, and 5 is a size. I want to store 5 employee details. So array, you know the nature of array, it allocates continuous memory locations, isn't it? So 5 continuous memory locations, and each memory location is which type? EMP type. Then how many bytes it occupies? 22 bytes. See, we have to write a template by considering one object. It will be applicable to all objects. EID, ENAME. 0, 1, 2, 3 like that. There are 5 continuous memory locations and each memory location is which type? EMP type. Okay. So, this template would be same. Only the main function will be changed here. EMP, E of 5. Okay. I want to insert 5 employee details. Now,